Hotep World. This your brother Matthew Daniels, aka Ampu, aka the Chosen Few, aka the Real Bookworm. I'm not a bookworm, I'm the real bookworm. Make sure you get it right. And as always, world, may your name live on forever and may your memory never die. Hotep, cheers to that. TCPD, Texas City Police Department, is under fire. Not by the community. Well, they are under fire by the community because the people has had enough. We fed up with cops. We fed up with crooked cops. We fed up with no police accountability. You understand what I'm saying? We are fed up with a unjust legal system. But today, I'm going to be talking about the Texas City Police Department being under fire by none other than, drum roll please, the Texas City Police Department. It is always a beautiful thing, right? It is always a beautiful thing when the individuals on the inside give us citizens, us regular citizens, let me slide this over a little bit so I can get more in this camera shot. It's always a beautiful thing when those on the inside gives those of us on the outside, us regular citizens, a snapshot, a sneak peek at what is going on behind those closed doors. And I saw a post on Facebook. I'm definitely going to be dealing with that post that I saw on Facebook. Shout out to, let me show it to y'all. Let me show it to y'all. So let's get right down to it. Let me show it to y'all. Here it is, right here. Big shout out to, first, to Kimberly Yancey for making this post. Shout out to my good brother Wayne Hobgood for sharing this post because I saw the post that he shared. Okay, so shout out to him for sharing it. Shout out to Kimberly Yancey for posting it, right? Took some heart, right? Took some heart, and I'm glad you brought that information to the public. And shout out to whoever wrote this. Okay, now this is a letter addressed to Texas City Police Chief Joe Stanton, and it is from the Texas City African American Police Association. And it is from the Texas City African American Police Officers Association, right? And what it's referring to is diversity and inclusion, a cry for help holding the thin blue line. And it's dated June 19th, 2020. Juneteenth, 2020. Now, as you can see from the picture, that is kind of blurry, but you know, I zoomed in on, you know you can do with these smartphones right now, iPhone, Android. I got a Samsung Galaxy Note 10. I zoomed in on it so I could read every single word that was being said, and man, family, I got an eye full, world. And I know this has been shared and shared and shared, so a lot of people have seen it. But what I wanted to do, I wanted to go on record and on video and share this video with the public and read it out to the individuals who have not or will not read it for themselves. And you're doggone right, I got some commentary. I'm gonna read it out and I'm gonna give y'all some commentary, man. This is, hey, whoever wrote this, and I think I know who wrote it. Okay, I think I know who wrote it. Because I do know several members of the Texas City African American Police Officers Association. I know several of them. And I know a couple of the personalities who would have the heart to release this information out to the public. So big up to you. Now, I'm not going to say your name because I'm not 100% sure and I don't want to give out no misinformation, but big up to you, whoever you are, releasing this information to the public. We see it, we read it, we understand it, and we are going to run with it, and we are going to assist you in having your voice be heard. So without further ado, let's get right into this letter. Okay, let's get right into this letter. And I apologize about the sound quality. I had to record from another device so I could read this off of my phone. Forgive me, but let's get into this. Okay, let's get into this. It says, "Greetings, Chief Stanton. We hope this correspondence finds you of sound mind and body, while the waves of racism and winds of bigotry and white privilege crashes upon the shoulders of the proud black police officers who work diligently under your command. We have toiled without complaint under the strains and chains of many years of bigotry." Many years of bigotry. Again, many years of bigotry. This didn't just start. It's many years. Many years, decades of bigotry. Okay? White privilege and of promises of a better day from you and previous administrations, but yet all have ignored our cries for diversity and inclusion. Pause, stop, hold up, wait a minute. So what they are saying is, when the author of this document, speaking on behalf of several others, many others, multiplicity of others, they are saying that they have been crying out for help to Chief Stanton in the current administration and to previous administration, talking about Police Chief Robert Bourbon, who was ironically an African American chief himself, and his administration. And you know this to be a fact because anybody that know me from my area, you know me, my brother, Nation of Liberation, and many others in the community went toe to toe with the Texas City Police Department years ago. And one of the things that came out from that is a lot of black officers within the Texas City Police Department were complaining about unfair treatment. They were complaining about racism, white privilege, and bigotry inside of the police department, right? Years ago. And they also had an internal investigation that was geared towards looking into that matter. And they were trying to get this matter resolved. And what happened was a lot of black officers were being reprimanded, suspended. Several of them were fired, okay, for reasons that they claimed were unfounded. And not only claimed were unfounded, but subsequently proved were unfounded. And you may be saying, Matthew, Daniels, Chosen Few, Ampu, the real bookworm, how do you know that they were unfounded? Because at the end of the investigation, right, several officers who had been suspended for these unjust reasons were paid back pay for the monies that they lost out due to that suspension. So what they are telling us immediately, off the rip, is even the black officers who are employed with the Texas City Police Department are experiencing bigotry, white privilege, and discriminatory practices. So you can just imagine what the regular citizen is dealing with if someone who is on that thin blue line with you, who wears the same badge as you, who wears the same uniform as you, who clocks in and out at the same location as you, if they are suffering from racism, white privilege, bigotry, and discrimination, you can only imagine what the average Joe Blow citizen such as myself would experience at the hands of these individuals who would do it to their co-workers. You can only imagine. And it's been going on for years with this administration and the past administration. Okay? TCPD under fire by TCPD. Let's continue. They go on to say, when we walk into the hallowed halls of bigotry, racism, and cryonism of the Texas City Police Department, we are reminded that the black police officers are a means to an end for you, Chief Joe Stanton. When we walk into the hallowed halls of bigotry, racism, they say when they walk into the hallowed halls of bigotry and racism, African American Texas City Police Department officers are saying that the hallowed halls of the Texas City Police Department of the hallowed halls of bigotry and racism. Don't take this lightly. Don't take this lightly. This is saying a lot. This is saying a lot. You know, you always wonder why don't the good cops speak against the bad cops? Why don't the ones on the inside speak about what is going on? Well, that is exactly what is happening right before your eyes. Abracadabra, you see it. You know, everybody that's talking about the protesters, right? Everybody that's talking about the individuals that are calling for police reform, those who are saying that there are white supremacists and racism within the police departments, okay? Everybody who is saying that, we're not crazy. And members of the community who are looking at members of the community such as myself who are beating that drum and who have been beating that drum for a long time, we not crazy. And now I want you to hear it from the mouth of an African-American police officer who is experiencing it within the department that they work in. Hallowed halls of racism and bigotry. I didn't say it. A cop said it. I didn't say it. An officer said it. I didn't say it. A man with a badge said it. Well, I said it, but I'm not the one that's saying it now. So I hope it holds a little more weight with the individuals that think we are just making stuff up and that we're just complaining for anything. And when, like you see my shirt, when we tell people it's bigger than George Floyd, this has been going on for years, literally decades, literally my whole life. I have been seeing it. I have been witnessing it. I have been experiencing it. Okay? And so now you see a police officer admitting that it has been going on for years. It's the same exact claim and charge being laid against them. Right? And he's speaking directly to the current Texas City Police Department Chief, Joe Stanton. Let's continue. Every day, the proud black police officers and personnel of the Texas City Police Department walk into the Texas City Police Department. He is met with photos of white history, white privilege, and white dominance. What we see when we look around is white culture and dominance strategically displayed throughout the police station. There is a large speech by General Douglas MacArthur, whom may have been a great war general, but whom was also a staunch racist. His work is proudly displayed in the halls of the Texas City Police Department. There are photos strategically placed in a whole display case of white Texas City police officers and white Texas City police history. What we find disturbingly striking is that there is no black police history so proudly displayed anywhere in the Texas City Police Station. We can tell you why. Why, writer? Why? Officer, tell us, please tell us why. Inquiring minds want to know why this stuff is strategically placed. And when somebody uses a word like strategically placed, they're saying that the individuals that have done it know exactly what they're doing, and they're doing it for a specific reason. So please tell us why, Mr. Officer. Inquiring minds would like to know. Black police officers and black police history have been thrown out with the trash, as if our black history and body of work meant nothing. Riddle me this, Batman. If black police history, right, and black police achievements are thrown out with the trash, what do you think the history and achievements of regular Joe Blow African American citizens is done? You think they throwing the cops' history in the trash and they're honoring yours? Don't be naive, family. Do not be naive. And this has been going on for years. Do not be naive. This is the proverbial smoking gun. This is the proverbial smoking gun. Big up to whoever wrote this. Give them that work. Let me continue. And like I said, it's kind of hard to see, but when we see another black police officer or a black recruit applying for a job with the Texas City Police Department, we jump for joy due to the fact seeing another black officer brings joy to our hearts in hope that diversity and inclusion is finally coming our way. When we have begged you for your help, but you and your past predecessors have ignored the call for diversity and inclusion. Your white privilege, Chief Stanton, has blinded you to the fact that you have failed in your duties in listening to our collective black voices in asking for help in recruiting and making black officers feel welcome within the Texas City Police Department. You failed. They're begging and crying for help, and you don't care. You've done nothing. Neither you nor your predecessors. Now, I saw Chief Stanton in Dickinson at a Galveston County Police Forum where a lot of officers and a lot of chiefs, right, and Sheriff Henry Trosset were up there trying to make it seem like it was not a big deal, that the community was just talking out the side of our necks and the community was ill-informed or misinformed. But what are you going to say now when the individuals that work for you are echoing the sentiments of the community? What are you going to say now when your own officers tell you that your white privilege has blinded you to what's going on? And ask yourself something, family, before I continue. Ask yourself something. Why? Because this officer is making a valid claim that's substantiated with the evidence that he has experienced. His personal experience is the evidence, and many others around him. Why is he claiming that inclusion and diversity inside of the Texas City Police Department has been ignored? The call for inclusion and diversity has been ignored, and it has been not converted into a reality. Why? Why? Riddle me this, Batman. Why? I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Because individuals use that badge and that position to oppress you. They don't want too many African Americans to be police officers and to have the same status as a police officer as the white community, because they are utilizing those positions and that job to oppress you. Right? If they're using this job to oppress you, why would they allow you to have this job or to get in here and stop them from doing it? Right? It's a means to an end for a lot of these guys. They're white supremacists inside of the police department. It is a means to an end. And this is what they utilize it for. So why would they give you an equal leveled playing field within the department if their view of the department is to be utilized as a tool to facilitate racism and white supremacy? Why? They're not going to do it. They're not going to make it diverse, and they're not going to make it inclusive, because they want it as a KKK, white supremacist, racist, right, organization that they can utilize as a tool to oppress you, right? And so they are going to allow a few African Americans to get in, just so when the community is at the door, boom, 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 boom. You racist practices, KKK, white supremacy, systemic racism, unjust justice system, blah, 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 blah. When we're making these claims, they can say, oh, well, look. We got a few African Americans sprinkled in here. It's not what you think. But they're telling you that they've been used as props. They have been used as props. Why would you use them as props? Listen to what is being said. Always tell people, listen to what a person is saying, so you can analyze what is not being said, because what is not being said is usually the crux and the meat of the conversation, right? That's usually it. You know, that is what's being said. They want to utilize it as a tool to oppress you. Plain and simple. And they are so serious about this oppression that they'll even oppress they'll even oppress their co-workers. Another big up to whoever wrote this. I know who you are. And if I do, you know me. Man, hotel. Thank you. I appreciate it. We're gonna do what we need to do with this information. Right? Let me continue. Right? I don't want to get carried away with the commentary, but you know me. I gotta voice my opinion. We presented this same issue to you over a year ago, March 2nd, 2019. Now think about it. They presented this issue over a year ago, and they saved the date. They remembered the date. That you gotta pay attention to something, Chief Joe Stanton. When an individual reminds you of something that happened over a year ago, and they present you with the actual date, that means they knew what you were going to do. Or rather, what you were not going to do. And it's like playing chess. They were just setting the pieces up, and you fell right into the trap. They knew you weren't going to do anything about it, and so they've been taking and keeping a meticulous record of them trying to resolve the issue, so that they can show that you systematically refuse to resolve the issue. You should be afraid. I mean, you should be very afraid, right? I understand what's going on. I'm not. Like, you know, some people, they may watch my videos and they may see me get hype and excited on certain things, but if you know me, you know me. I got it up here. You understand what I'm saying? I have it up here. So I totally understand what's going on, and I see it, and you done already fell in the trap. It's too late. Now that they released this to the public, because they know it's nowhere to run. The bad trap has, boop, it done snapped on your leg. It done closed on your leg. They got you. You're trapped. You trapped. There's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. You know, it's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. You just got to deal with it, man. You just got to deal with it. Let me continue. We presented this same issue to you over a year ago, March 2nd, 2019, in a departmental email titled African American with attachments. We showed you how an African American candidate seeking employment here, Prince Hill, who wore a suit and tie to be interviewed by Lieutenant Manuel Johnson, was made to strip to expose his upper body. Damn. Lieutenant Johnson was in search of gang tattoos, yet no white candidate was ever exposed or ever subjugated to this type of racist and inhumane treatment. Prince Hall was made to display and expose himself as if standing on a block for his white slave master, Lieutenant Manuel Johnson, with your approval before the sale is final. Now I want you to get something. They're saying that an African American candidate was trying to get a job within the police department, right? A Mr. Prince Hill. And Lieutenant Manuel Johnson, with the approval of Chief Joe Stanton, this man came in a suit and tie. You know, he wouldn't be trying to get a career in law enforcement if his background wasn't already clean, if he wasn't already an upstanding member of society, right? And Lieutenant Manuel Johnson, with the approval of Chief Joe Stanton, made this man take off his tie, take off his suit, and expose his upper body area, bare skin, and he was searched for gang tattoos, right? And before you say that, oh, they just want to make sure that they don't hire anybody that has any affiliation with any gangs, but they just told you that no white candidate has ever been subjected to this. So this is not a normal practice. Why did you do this African American brother like this? It makes me think about that movie, Just Mercy, when the African American lawyer was going to see the death row inmate that Jamie Foxx played, and the corrections officer made him strip down, even though it wasn't allowed, even though it wasn't proper practice to strip down a lawyer, strip down legal counsel, made him strip down butt naked, just to humiliate him and demean him, you know? And these officers make a very telling analogy. They say that, let me paint a picture. Back when slavery was going on, when they were at the slave auctions, they would have a block, like a block of wood, right? That the enslaved people would stand on, and they would be inspected by the potential buyers, right? To see if this was a slave that they wanted to buy, you know? Women, men, and children, this is what they did. And they made an analogous statement showing the similarities between that practice of putting a slave on the auction block with what Lieutenant Manuel Johnson, with the authorization of Chief Joe Stanton, did to this African American individual who was trying to get a job there, Prince Hill. So they were equating what you did to this guy with what slavers did to enslaved Africans. This is how they saw what you did. And I don't know how you can run away from that because you've never done it to a white candidate. So says your employees. I want y'all to think about that. Imagine going for a job interview, right? And the employer asks you to expose your upper body area to look for gang tattoos. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. But you say all of these wonderful words. See, watch the forked tongue, man. People will tell you what you want to hear all along. They don't give a damn about you. They'll just tell you what they want to hear. It's like they have a pre-programmed response. So a lot of times you can't even take what the hell they say. They'll say anything. You know, you talk about inclusion and diversity, but yeah, you do this to a potential candidate, interview candidate. Y'all know you did a background check. Look in his background. Do we have any gang affiliated stuff in his background? You gotta make this man take off his clothes so you can examine him like the slave trader. Man, you guys, y'all are out of y'all mind, man. Y'all are out of y'all mind and think it's okay to dehumanize, demoralize, and degrade another human being like this. You out of your mind. Lieutenant Manuel Johnson, you out of your mind, bro. Chief Joe Stanton, for allowing it, you out of your mind, man. You out of your mind. Makes me want to throw up. Yeah, do it. Makes me want to throw up. Thinking about this nonsense, this madness, this foolishness that y'all got carrying on inside of that Texas City Police Department. That's filth, man. That's filthy. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. But you're not. You're not, but you ought to be. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. And individuals such as myself, we've been beating this drum for a long time. Beating this drum for a long time, and you've been acting like this type of stuff don't exist right here where we live in Texas City, Texas, Galveston County area. Now your own officers are exposing your racism and your bigotry. Filthy, man. Shameful. Shameful. Stand before your shame. Hey, y'all seen Game of Thrones? Y'all seen Game of Thrones when the religious zealots took over and they made the people parade through the streets naked? And shame, shame, shame. They followed them yelling shame, shame, shame. And the regular citizens pelted them with rocks and rotten fruit. That's what needs to happen to you. You need to be walked through the streets with shame, 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 so people can see your shame and pelt you with rotten fruit. That's what you need. That's what you need. Man, let me continue, man. Much power to whoever wrote this, man. Much honor and respect. I'm glad you gave them up. People to stop thinking we crazy out here. The ironic thing, and listen to this. The ironic thing is that Lieutenant Johnson himself, the same man that damn near basically stripped the brother down, looking for gang tattoos. Listen to this. The ironic thing is that Lieutenant Johnson himself had tattoos that he had to have covered due to its racist tones. White silence, Confederate flag. So, man, you can't make this stuff up, man. The same Lieutenant Manuel Johnson who stripped this brother looking for gang tattoos had racist tattoos himself that he had to have covered up. Brother, are you... Listen, how much more plain can it be? The same guy that strip searched this young man had racist tattoos himself. Shame on you. Shame on, and apparently it's common knowledge because the individual that wrote this, they knew. So people knew. It's nowadays people, they ain't even trying to hide the race. Yeah, I'm racist, but damn it, I don't give a damn no more. I don't give a damn. Oh yeah, my race. Don't worry about my racist tattoos. Let's worry about if you got any gang tattoos. I don't know about my racist tattoos. Wizard of Oz. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. I want to strip you for your gang tattoo. Don't worry about my Confederate flag, nigger. Nigger. Don't worry about my racist Confederate flag tattoos. I want to talk to you about whether or not you got any gang tattoos. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. You out of your mind, man. This is crazy. Is this real? Is this reality? Is this really happening? Am I in the Twilight Zone? Have parallel universes merged? No. The people are just right to be upset. The people are just right to complain. The people are just right to call you racist white supremacists. Not all of y'all. You understand what I'm saying? Because people always try to muddy the waters. Talking directly, or matter of fact, I'm not even talking directly to nobody. Your officers is talking directly to the ones that's in there that they see and work with every single day. If it don't apply, let it fly. If the shoe don't fit, if the glove don't fit, you must have quit. But if the glove fit, lock them up and throw away the key. If it don't apply, let it fly. But you, Lieutenant Johnson, with your Confederate flag, racist tattoos, you got some nerve stripping this brother looking for gang tattoos. Now, you strip. Let's see if you got any more gang tattoos. Get out of them. It made me think about prison. And they strip you in prison. Right? All the time. Treated this man like a criminal because he wanted a job. Protecting and serving his community. And you treated him like a convict. And you treated him like a slave, according to this document. You treated him like a slave. And this guy, Lieutenant Manuel Johnson, had racist tattoos of his own. Man, get the hell out of here. Let's Game of Thrones, man. It's Game of Thrones, these boys. When I say Game of Thrones, y'all know what I mean. Shame on you. Let's Game of Thrones these boys, man. Let me continue. I know y'all want some more of this meat, this tea. You know, it's a new generation, they call it tea now. I know y'all want some more of this tea. You're thirsty, right? You thirsty for the tea? Let me give you that tea, man. This shit is out of control, man. It's out of control. FYI, for your information. FYI, for your information. FYI, all black males are not gang members and violate predators roaming the streets looking to plunder, steal, and burn the villages and towns. Prince Hill told us that he had never been so embarrassed to have been subject to a body search in what was supposed to be a professional environment. Listen to what they just said. All black men are not gang members, savages, thugs, and criminals. But the fact that he has to say this says that he knows this is what you think and this is how you treat them. So I don't want to hear all that. This is going on everywhere around the country, but it's not going on here. You damn it, you're goddamn lie. It's going on right here and your own officers exposing you. Silly ass shit. The only tattoos that Prince Hill had was those of his deceased mother and other family members. He withdrew his candidacy and is now working as a patrolman for the Angleton Police Department. The Tech City Police Department has a very well documented history of denying black males and females from applying and working for this department. A well documented. Remember I said earlier, you can tell from the language that chess pieces have already been put into place and there's nowhere to run. Now listen to the language. The Tech City Police Department has a well documented history of denying African American males and females jobs. If it's well documented and you're making a claim that it's well documented, you're implying you got access to those documents. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Game of Thrones these boys. Game of Thrones these boys. What you read described above is just an example of the discrimination that has prevailed under your watch. Chief Stanton, this is just an example. This is one example of the discrimination that has prevailed under your watch, Chief Stanton. There's many other examples, but this is the one that they chose to give. Again, pieces are already on the chessboard. I don't look. I wasn't around when this was written, but like I told you, I understand language, and I understand people, and I understand psychology. So I know what's going on, right? I read between the lines. It's hard to get one past me, right? It's hard to get. It's just one example. And in case you try to wiggle out of that, they got more locked and loaded for your behind. Let's get back to this tea, man. Let's get back to this coffee. Matter of fact, I drink coffee, man. I don't drink tea. Let's get back to this coffee. The high-tech lynching. Ooh-wee. Hey, man. The high-tech lynching, harassing, and pencil whipping of black officers by your white handymen continues on a daily basis. The damage done is reprehensible and will take many years of blood, sweat, and tears to wash away the stain of white privilege and racism. We have also had many qualified black 911 communications officers that were not hired, all due to their voice not sounding white enough for members of your command staff. Wow. Wow, they letting it all hang out now. Damn. How can the black officers and black 911 communications officers overcome this mountain when our proud black heritage is the only thing holding us back from excelling under your administration? They need to sue your butt, is what they need to do. And guess what? When they do, I got complaints against y'all ass. I got several complaints against y'all behind. When they do, and the lid is blown off of this, I'm coming for you too. I'm telling you, I'm there. I'm there. I'm coming for you. And every member of the community needs to come for your behind too. You've been getting away with it for far too long. Hey, Tech City African American Police Association, hey, blow the lid off of it. Blow the lid off of it. We coming right behind you. You are not alone. Straight up. Playing with y'all no more, man. The damage done is so horrible. We cannot even get any black males and females to apply for any capacity for the Tech City Police Department. They done their job. They don't want you to apply. And like I told you earlier, they doing it to systematically keep you out because they use their position and their badge as a tool to oppress you. So why would they let you take that position and that badge away from them? Because if they don't have it, they can't systematically oppress you anymore. They can't beat you, lynch you, kill you. They can't plant drugs on you. They can't send you away for the rest of your life. They can't lie on you. They can't steal from you. They can't cheat you. They can't harass you. They can't do none of that. It's too good to them. It's too good to them. They don't want to get that up. They don't want to get that up. Let us look into the future for just a moment and apply some deductive reasoning. Promotional opportunities for any black male or female applicants that may get hired in the future is little to none. It takes 5 to 6 years before one is able to take a promotional exam. Look at that number versus all the white individuals that are currently able to take the exam and ones that will definitely be hired before you make any something our hiring practices. The black male and female officer will be buried under an avalanche of white privilege and bigotry that cannot be overcome. Systematic. It's systematic. And what he's saying is it takes 5 to 6 years to come up for a promotion. So if 5 or 6 years ago, this system was already in place and they only was hiring a majority of European individuals, European heritage individuals, right? Then now, even if you begin to hire African Americans, right, and the problem is already there and the problem has already been there for decades, it'll be another 5 to 6 years before they can even come up for some type of promotion, right? But even when they come up for that promotion, the individuals that was hired 5 to 6 years ago, they are going to be the ones with the seniority who are going to get put in those positions. So they're saying that it's basically impossible to overcome at this point and change the scenario, but it's going to take 20 freaking years to do so. That's what he's saying. Okay. The only faces that will be seen in the Tech City Police Department are faces of white men and women looking down upon any black male or female with disdain and anger, as you currently look upon the black officers currently under your leadership. Game of Thrones, these boys. Chief Stanton, what will history say about you when your time has come to an end with the Texas City Police Department? Will you maintain the status quo of depriving black male and female police officers from becoming productive, proud members of the Texas City Police Department? Chief Stanton, will you continue to stifle, deflect, and keep your knee on our necks? Before I finish that sentence, you see they are employing the George Floyd protest language, the knee on the neck. They are saying that they are no different. It's happening to the African Americans in the community. It's happening to the African Americans within the police department, and that the police officer is saying it about the police department. God damn it. I don't want to hear like this is no fairy tale, make-believe, fantasy island, mumbo jumbo. It's real. And your own officers giving you up. And keep your knee on our necks and your hands in your pocket. Wow. And your knee on in the hand. That is exactly the position that Derek Chauvin was in when he murdered George Floyd. Understand the language. Understand what they're equating this with. Right? And your hands in your pocket and mouth closed. Standing on top of us all the while denying black male and female officers from protecting our community the way you allow white officers to protect their community. Your silence equals consent. Texas City African American Police Officers Association. Man, I know I said a mouthful, right? And I know I gave a lot of commentary that drug this thing out, but I had to. I had to. So what are the takeaways? What do we take away from this? Racism exists within the Texas City Police Department. They systematically oppress and discriminate against the African American officers. So, you know, they systematically oppress and discriminate against the African American community. That's not police officers. 1 + 1 will always equal 2. They are bigots. They are racist. They are white supremacists. And there are people who just don't give a damn that they are these things. And they have systematically created an environment where they feel that nothing can be done about it for another 20, 30 years. This is what we mean by systematic racism, systematic white supremacy. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a culture and a system in place to not only oppress you and to not only keep you oppressed, but to deny you the avenues to come from up under said oppression and overcome said oppression. That's what we mean by systematic. So what can be done? You know, I do have some ideas for some solutions, but one of the things that we have to realize is that when faced with a problem, right? Just any old body can't come up with a solution on the fly. That's first and foremost. Anybody with a platform, anybody with a mouth, anybody with an opinion can't adequately solve a problem. First, you have to identify what the problem is specifically. Then you have to identify how that problem became a problem. Then you need experts in the field to analyze the data, analyze the information, come up with a viable solution, and then the vast majority of the community supports that solution, implements that solution, backs that solution, and enforces that solution. So sometimes you have to beseech the experts, right? So what I think should happen is the individuals responsible for writing this and the individuals within the police department who have experienced this, they need to begin to, and I'm pretty sure they are, hold meetings designed towards coming up with solutions for the problem. Involve members of the community such as myself, not to come and to tell you what the solution is, but to support you in the solution that you come up with. That's how this thing works. That's how you solve a problem. That's how you solve an issue. Right? When a coronavirus hit and everybody was scrambling for a vaccine, you see multiple experts in the field of medicine, viruses, and vaccines coming together to collectively identify the problem, identify how it became the problem, and then discuss ways to solve the problem. And it is through this mechanism, this scientific process, that they will ultimately solve the issue, solve the matter, come up with a solution. And then the people are then required to support, enforce, promote said solution. So, Texas City Police Department under fire by Texas City Police Department. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Kimberly Yancey, thank you for sharing this. Wayne Hopgood, thank you for sharing this. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. And I just wanted to bring it to the attention of as many people as I can. Right? I just want to bring it to the attention of as many people as I can. And if any of those officers see this, you know, reach out to me. I'm willing to help you in this fight. You know, y'all know me. I'm not a fly by night. I just want to help. You know, I just want to help. You know, I got willing hands, willing feet. I just want to help. Shameful, right? Tell the truth, y'all. It's shameful, ain't it? Before I go, let's pay some bills. Brief commercial break. As you know, I'm an author, self-published author. I have 2 books out now. My most recent is Thicker Than Water, right? My most recent is Thicker Than Water. Okay? 469 pages of heat, of fire. It's about a gang war that erupts on the streets of Texas City. Detective Derrick Rose and Officer Sierra Martin are racing against the clock to figure out who's doing the killings, why, and bring peace back to the streets of Texas City. I also have a book, Suicide Note. Now, my Juneteenth special is still going on. You can get either one of my novels, Thicker Than Water or Suicide Note, for $10. I'm going to keep this special going. I'm going to keep this sale going on for a few more days. Go to my Facebook page, Everything Matthew Daniels. Click on the shop section. Go to the shop section, order your copy there. You can get it for $10. Or I also have ebook versions available of both novels. Okay, the ebook version is available for $2.99, $3. It's $2.99. You got $2.99. You know, support me in what I'm doing. Support me in my efforts in the community, right? Support me in my efforts to become an established author. You know, it's a damn good read. I've gotten raving reviews from everybody that's read it. Everybody that's read Suicide Note. You can get Thicker Than Water or Suicide Note for $2.99. Go out there and support that, man. Go out there and support me, man. Download, even if you're not gonna read it for a few months, download that ebook. $2.99. I know you got $2.99 laying around. Or you can order the paperback copy when the sale ends for $19.99. I'm selling it for $19.99. I cut it in half for the sale, and it's only $10. Okay. So just get those books, man. Get those books and support me. $10 on my Facebook page. Everything Matthew Daniels. $19.99 on Amazon. $2.99 for the ebook version. Just go out there and get that book. It's a good read. It's a good work. I put a lot into it, and I'm just chasing my dreams of being a published author, right? Of being an author. This is how I want to be able to feed my family, but I can't get to that level without the support of the people. Thank you for everybody that's already supported. I've already sold a lot of copies of Suicide Note. Sold a lot of copies of Thicker Than Water. They're already buying the ebook version, so thank everybody that's already supported. Thank everybody that shares the post when I make them. Right? Thank everybody. What else? Just go get that book, man. Go get Thicker Than Water. Go get Suicide Note. Get both of them. You can get both of them for $6 right now. Ebook version. You can get both of them for $20 right now. Go get that. I'm gonna keep that sale going on for a few more days because a lot of people have already ordered it. And if you ordered it, the orders is already being processed. The ones that ordered it first, your orders are already shipped. Don't worry about that. They're coming in the mail. And since it's doing so well, I'm gonna keep it going for a while. I don't know exactly when I'm gonna end it. I'm calling it the Juneteenth sale, but I don't know when I'm gonna end it. As long as people are supporting it, I just want to get my work out there, really. I'm not trying to get rich off of it. I want to get my work out there. I want to get my name out there. So if you could help me in that, I would greatly appreciate it. Even if you don't like to read, if you like what I do in the community, if you support what I do in the community, if you support what I do for the people, if you support me in this fight, you support me in this struggle, order the book. Order the book, because all work needs funds. And I don't necessarily ask for like donations to do anything. If I have a program or something that I'm involved in, I would rather offer you a product. That's just how I operate. I would rather offer you a product. So if any one of my videos has ever imparted information on you that you appreciate, show your support by ordering the book. If you like this video, if you feel like this video was informative, and if you're thankful that I did this video, go and order the book, or at least share it. Go to Amazon, get the link, share it, tell people about it. Help me get my name out there. Help me become who I'm trying to be in life. Because what I would like to do is to totally separate from my job and write full-time and work in the community full-time. That's my ambition. That's my goal. That's what I'm striving for. So thank you for everybody that supported. Thank you for everybody that's going to support. I'm gonna put all the links to my books in the descriptions and in the comments wherever I choose to post this video. Share this video, like this video, leave me a comment. Smoking Gun, TCPD, Under Fire by TCPD. Big up to the people that wrote it. This your brother Matthew Daniels, aka Ampu, aka the Chosen Few, aka the Real Bookworm. I'm not a bookworm, I'm the real bookworm. Make sure you get it right. And as always, world, may your name live on forever, and may your memory never die. Hotel, cheers. Oh, visit my website, www.therealbookworm.com. www.therealbookworm.com. Hotel.